Hi everybody, I'm Danielle Jameson and welcome to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys the meaning and the stories behind all of my tattoos. I got my first tattoo in February, I think it was like early Feb in 2015. All of my life I really wanted tattoos, and this particular tattoo I've wanted for years before I actually got it done. I think it was a few years I wanted it. It needs touching up, so you're gonna have to forgive me. It is a well-known quote from my favourite video game of all time, Dishonored. Basically, the main antagonist is a guy called Dowd in the first game. About 6 months after the original game's release, we got a DLC pack. There's 3 DLCs for Dishonored altogether, 2 of which you actually play as Dowd. In these DLCs, Dowd is somewhat regretful. One of the quotes he actually says is this quote right here, and it says, "We make our choices and take what comes, and sooner or later, in ways we can't fathom, the consequences come back to us and the rest is void." If you guys don't know, the video game Dishonored really helped me with the separation of my parents. That was like my escapism. I would go and play Dishonored. When my parents separated, it was because my dad had had an affair. He was cheating on my mum. This is kind of a reminder that your actions have consequences. So that's what that's all about. It's like your actions have consequences and you need to remember that before you act. My second tattoo is a bird cage, which is on my back, which is going to be extremely difficult to show you, but I will try my best. And it is basically a bird cage, kind of like your stereotypical, like the birds flying out of the bird cage, and I have like a quote underneath it. Now, I am a massive Beatles fan, have been for like years now, and one of the quotes from their songs that always made such an impact on me. Well, actually, instead of rambling, I'm just going to show you it. So there's the tattoo. So the actual quote is from, like I said, a Beatles song, and the quote reads, "And to see you're really only very small and life flows on within you and without you. Try and stay grounded. Don't think that you're above other people. At the end of the day, no matter how rich you are, no matter how famous you are, we're all gonna end up the same way, and that is dead. Whether we're cremated or whether we're put in the ground, life's gonna continue." I got this particular tattoo done around May 2015. I had just finished my first year at university. I got this done when I transferred university courses. So I used to do TV and film production, and then I changed and I now study currently English studies with creative writing. When I was doing TV and film, a lot of shit went down, and then that resulted in basically a lot of rumours being spread around about me, and I was hearing like different rumours about myself every single day of the week. I got this tattoo done to represent floating away, flying away from all of the negativity, transferring course and trying to just better myself as a person. I pretty much made like a vow to myself around that time, which was, you need to get yourself out of this hole that I'd gotten myself into with bad mental health. Like freeing myself from the negativity in my life, which included TV and film, but it also included like my mental state. The next tattoo that I got was my Solace tattoo, which is also on my back. Excuse the fact that my back is in such a state right now in terms of acne. I just always have problems with it on my back and I just don't know why. And this is another one that needs touching up. And it just says Solace in black font. It's nothing special in terms of like style or anything. A couple of things inspired this tattoo. The first one being, it's a tribute to my favourite Scott Joplin song. Now, if you don't know who Scott Joplin was, he was a pianist. You'll recognise loads of his songs because a lot of his songs are very famous pieces. But one of his perhaps not so well known songs is a song called Solace, and the font is inspired by the album artwork. It's the exact same font that it is on the album artwork. This tattoo is not only kind of like a tribute to him, I guess. Another reason why I got this tattoo done was because the definition of solace is happiness, basically in time of distress in times of darkness. I guess kind of a tribute also to my family. Moving on to my fourth tattoo, which is again a piece from Dishonored. Again, ignore the spots, they're horrific. I'll cover them up so you guys don't have to see them. So there we go. It is of one of the characters in the Dishonored franchise. This is the representation of her in the first game, where she is young, but it's her mother who gets assassinated, who gets murdered. I just fell in love with Emily's character. Like, she's such a strong person, and when Bethesda, the creators of Dishonored, announced that they were going to do a second one, I had a feeling that they were going to make Emily a playable character. Emily is a very, very strong character. She's young, but she is very wise for her age, and she kind of takes in a lot more than a lot of people seem to realise in the game. The next tattoo is my quill. So I got this done at a Friday the 13th event at one of the tattoo studios that I really love going to. Originally, in the Friday the 13th event that they were hosting, I wanted to have a magpie done, but my studio, when they do Friday the 13th events, a lot of their designs that they make specifically for the event are one-time, first come first serve tattoos, so they'll only be done once. And I waited in line for a good hour and a half, if not longer, so I could get in here and try and get the magpies that I really wanted done. But when I got to the front of the queue, they had already been taken, and I was really annoyed. So this was kind of like not the one I really wanted, but I've fallen in love with it over time kind of tattoo. One of the things that I always loved to do since I was a little kid is write. I would write big books over 100 pages long. I was reading all the time as well, constantly had a book in my hand, and I absolutely have grown to love this quill. It represents creativity, my love for writing and my love for reading. So that's the quill. And then I went through like quite a long period of time where I didn't get any tattoos. It was about a year when I just did not get anything done. So the next ones that I got are my my key and my flowers, which are just on my side here. I got these done pretty much when I started my first job. Ignore the butterfly, it's just the flowers and the key that I got done at this point. I basically work in a shop, and it's my first job, and I was incredibly proud of myself because I'd been searching for a job for months and months and months and months and months with very little luck. I have like the key to many doors now, I guess. Many doors are now going to be opened for me because I have a job. It's going to give me experience, because a lot of people wouldn't take me because I hadn't gotten the experience. I got the flowers done at the same time, so the flowers just represent me developing and blossoming as a person, and how much change in development there is to come for me. I'm only 21 and, you know, I have my whole life ahead of me. So basically, not too long after I got the key and the flowers, I went back and I got this butterfly done. It's all about me coming out of my shell in terms of mental health. This tattoo, the butterfly, is kind of like a celebration of how far I've come in terms of my mental health. I'm very, very proud of the progress that has been made. My final tattoo is my rose, which is here. It's quite a big piece, and the reason why it's quite big is because I wanted it big. I do have plans to get more flowers up here to, you know, fill in the space. I love roses. Like, I freaking love roses, man. Roses are one of my favourite kind of flowers. This is probably the least meaningful tattoo that I actually have. It doesn't really represent anything. I got it done purely because I really liked the look of it. It was a pre-drawn design, and an apprentice did this for me, and he was really proud of it when he'd finished it off, and I was really proud of it as well, actually. But I just love the rose. It represents love. It represents passion. That is it. That's all of my tattoos that I currently have. This video has been long enough, so all I can really say now is I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure to click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. See you later.